Devon Larratt versus Levan Saginashvili. I do think that Levan gave everybody a reason to hope. And when I say hope, we're hoping that you lose if you're the undeniable champ of the world. We want to see the match switch hands, especially if it's one of those situations where we have a hero to root for, and the hero is a North American guy with an American market, and he's the underdog. We got everything we need, because not a lot of us wouldn't want to see the match. If we don't have the Ermes match, and if we don't have the wrist injury, because it was too dominant before. I do feel there's a chance that too many people echoed the same beliefs that I yelled out, and that we could underestimate the power that our words have had over Levan. And where is Levan's work ethic? Where's his power? Where's his attitude? Where's his health? Where's his endurance? Where is all this stuff? Did we, by pointing it all out and doubling down on our love for our social media giant and the fact that it's a beautiful story because Levan is so amazing and he seems to be amazing for a long time? But now I believe a lot of people think Devon's going to win. I hope that that hasn't motivated Levan past where he was. What if he was on cruise control at the top? And now the injury, the Ermes match, and showing a little bit of vulnerability from a cardiovascular standpoint. What if that has made him now refocus and maybe become even better than he was, and if we have just shut up and let Devon creep in there to a guy that was on cruise control? If Devon stops the match, it's over. I believe that Devon's gonna win. I just wonder how messy it'll be. Ermes Gasparini versus Alizhan Muratov. This is gonna be super impressive to me. If Alizhan is able to beat Ermes, he is the most dominant professional left-handed arm wrestler that we have. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I think that he's going to find out that Ermes is a little too heavy, a little too big, a little too skilled. I do believe that Alizhan is the left-handed champ of the 231 class, but whether he's the superior champ of the world we'll see, because Ermes is a great athlete. There is chance that Ermes will decisively defeat Alizhan. Alex Kurdecha versus Georgi Tsvetkov. I think this is another one that, for whatever reason, as solid and as amazing as Georgi is at compromising the hand and wrist, he also can pull sometimes with his hand back in a push-stroke arm, erratic position. I watched Alex just get done with Morozov, and he showed me that he's pretty remarkable athlete. I'm thinking that Georgi is definitely going to take his hand at some point, but Georgi can also get tired. This match could easily be the match of the night as well. Todd versus Frank Lamparelli. Michael looks to be super healed up and possibly better than before. He has the ability to beat greater opponents than Frank has the ability to beat. That does not mean that Frank cannot beat Michael because of the outside hand leverage beautiful angles that Frank is going to display, and Michael let inferior strength guys with good hand and wrist put him in long matches and create situations where he's trying to transition, and sometimes he falls apart during the half-hour process. As a Michaels fan, I hope he wins. Davit Samushia versus Nurdalet Aidarkhan. The greatest East versus West champion, besides now Mindaugas, is also the most vulnerable champ in my opinion. Every single time, he is okay with pulling the way the other guy wants to in early rounds, and he manages to win. Nurdalet was dominant his last against Vala. I think that belt will change hands too on the 20th. I hope it doesn't, because I do think that he's a humble, respectful, and great champ, but I'm rooting for the underdog. Schoolboy versus Leonidas Arkona. I want the winner of this one? No. I want the loser of this one. I would beat Leonidas with my left arm. There is no way that bodybuilding guy would take a match with me. Regarding the match, I think Schoolboy beats Leonidas. Mindaugas Tarasaitis versus Arthur Makarov. I think that Mindaugas is the most vulnerable champ you got. He's also one of the most enjoyable arm wrestler that you can find. His performance in his last match versus Daniel was awesome. It was clear to me that Daniel was considerably stronger than Mindaugas. Now I think Arthur could be stronger too. Arthur is an incredible athlete and so aggressive. I feel like Mindaugas is at best 50-50 every time he has a title defense. I'll be rooting for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arthur wins. Reisek versus Ekaterina Nikisheva. I am a big fan of both. They have a lot of talent, and I think it's going to be real close. and I hope neither one of them catches me rooting for the other one because I like them both. I'm super excited for them. I'm sure they're happy to be on the card. Irakli Zirakashvili versus Sasho Andreev. I like Irakli very much. I feel like Sasho's just amazing at hooking from a position that makes it look like he's too extended, but he's long enough to be that extended, which is remarkable. But my infatuation with Irakli's hand and wrist and how beautiful the timing seems that I tend to think that Irakli is going to win outside, not easy, but efficiently, because I feel like that as soon as it's not efficient, he's in big trouble because Sasho's got a lot of heart too. I believe that Irakli would be the favorite. Saginas versus İbragim Sagov. This is a tough one here. The skill level of Saginas is very high. He is so gifted when it comes to just technical, and then he looks soft and cuddly, and then very strong and ferocious. The only thing that could get Saginas in trouble is that he likes to show you all 5 of his repertoire, instead of maybe singling in on the most effective one. So he just needs to be careful, because if he's not really set up to stop, he's going to get down a couple times. It's a close match, definitely. Brandon Elsesser versus Stoyan Golemanov. I think that Brandon's going to become your new Paul Lin. He's appropriate. He's working as hard as he can to be the champ. He could get just crushed with a bad angle, top rolled out leverage too long, but any awkwardness that starts taking place and becomes a heart thing, Brandon's gonna be tough. Stoyan was always at the Zloty Tour. Hopefully that he's out of practice, but if he is hitting it now, he's probably bigger and more intelligent. He was already good, so hopefully he's not too long for Brandon. Kamil Jablonski versus Tobias Sporong. Tobias is a very regular-looking guy with a stupid amount of skills. I know if you beat him that you're a guy that's got a real chance, and if he beats you, I'm not surprised. That shoulder press that uses Kamil seems a little awkward for me. I think I could beat him too.